What's up, Lee Tribe? Okay, based on the comments that I saw in that last video, y'all, we need to talk. We're in this economic downturn because of the pandemic globally, right? And so what is happening is everyone is scrambling, trying to replace their 9-to-5 income and start their own internet business. There's going to be a ton of new businesses that are going to start this year because of the pandemic, and that's great. Right. But I also think you have to be realistic about what is going to be selling in the short term and setting yourself up for long-term stability. And I'm going to share with you guys some things that I've done that have helped me. And it's the reason you saw me getting sales every day in that last video, not because of what I've done since the pandemic started, but because of what I did in 2018 and 2019. That's why I'm selling every day. If you need fast turnaround money, print on demand is not it for the average person. Are there going to be some people that will capitalize on this? Absolutely. And I'm going to show you some designs because Teepublic and Teespring have actually been a little bit more transparent about what is selling, which, I mean, I know why they're doing it. It's for their own gain, but I'm like, y'all should have been doing that a long time ago because that would have helped people, even before the pandemic. Anyway, if you're trying to make money now, replace income now, you have to think about selling things that are in the essential area. For example, you got people on Etsy who were selling t-shirts. People have decided to pivot and make face masks and sell those, which is actually smart. That's what you call taking advantage of what is in demand now in this economy, so you can sell things that are actually in need. Now, are people still buying t-shirts? Of course, but I personally have an advantage, and I'm selling every day because of the work I did 2 years ago, last year. Not everybody's going to have that luxury, but I'm also going to share with you guys more things about print on demand that you can do now for those of you looking for more of the short term, because there's basically two boats here. You got some people who are just scrambling and they're looking for any kind of income they can generate right now. And maybe you're looking at print on demand and you're looking more for short term just to help you pay a few bills. But I don't think the average person should be looking at print on demand as an income replacement. It's a side hustle at best, and preferably for people that actually enjoy this. The other boat is the boat I'm in. Maybe you've been doing this a while, or maybe you're interested in print on demand because you have a design background and you're looking to generate long-term income. You understand it's not a get rich quick thing, but you want to plant some seeds now so they can grow and flourish later. Let me start off by sharing with you guys this email that Teepublic and Teespring have both sent out. These companies now are, as I said, being a lot more transparent about what is selling. But I want to talk about some infringement because that's the thing that a lot of you all have been concerned about when it comes to this, and rightfully so, because RedBubble / Teepublic, same company, especially RedBubble, can be very, very inconsistent with what they allow on their platform. So Teepublic sent out this email last week that basically said these topics are selling well right now. Quarantine, we talked about that in the last video. Funny quarantine quotes, social distancing, essential employee memes, smart, class of 2020. You guys, this one is huge. This one is huge. If you can think creatively right now, you can really capitalize on this class of 2020 thing. Now, you might be saying, Lisa, what are you talking about? People aren't graduating. No, they don't know if they're going to be graduating, but people are celebrating at their homes with yard signs, with posters. People are buying t-shirts with class of 2020, but they say things relevant to the situation that we're in, about the quarantine, about the graduation being delayed. There's a lot of ways you can play with this if you're creative and make it relevant to these times. So the people doing well with print on demand right now in the short term are really understanding how to capitalize on the times that we're in right now. And that's what's selling best. For example, Teepublic said that these 3 designs that you just saw in that last screenshot, these 3 designs have sold at least 50 times since the quarantine started. Now, to all my hip hop fans out there, when you look at this, who do you see? Now, I personally would not recommend doing this because this is what gets people mixed up. And this is what RedBubble has people confused about, and rightfully so, because RedBubble, Teepublic, same company, right? RedBubble will allow somebody to do something like this, and then someone else will do something similar, and then it'll get taken down because maybe that other design got reported and this one didn't. I would be very, very careful about doing stuff like this. You might make some money in the short term, but wouldn't it be terrible if you put up a ton of designs like this and maybe you make $500 in a couple of months and then only to have them taken down? Now, the tricky part about this is Teepublic is actually promoting this design in their email. If Teepublic if they want to play this game. I'm not playing the game. Let's look at a design that's a little bit more safe. This is actually clever, you guys, and this is all about the details. Again, take advantage of the times that we are in right now. People aren't going on vacation. They're on their couches, and that's exactly what this design signifies. And it's subtle. Look at the popcorn on the couch. This is what my couch looks like right now. You know, I probably got some popcorn in the cracks. The blanket is thrown over the cushions haphazardly like that. Look, you got the soda spilled on the floor. Now I don't have that, but it's just the little details like this, you guys, that make this design work. Right now, here's something at the bottom that I wouldn't do. And I think this would be fine without this message that says sponsored by the CDC. CDC. They don't have rights to use CDC. But again, people push the limits like that on Teepublic and RedBubble. Some get away with it, some do not. Just be very, very careful. So this is an example, you guys, of people taking advantage of what is going on in our world right now. And RedBubble and Teepublic are two sites that are really, really good when it comes to pop culture design. They're good for that. That's what people are buying on those sites. Things related to what's going on in our world now. And with RedBubble, typically more of an artistic spin. Now, Teepublic sent out a similar email, and I will put this link. There was no link. This is just an email, so I won't be able to really share this email. But the take home to this one is these are the things that are selling right now on Teepublic. That's the take home. So screenshot that or whatever. Now this I can actually link because there was a link to a blog post in this email from Teespring. So Teespring is sharing with us that they have some new design patterns that you can use. They have tie-dye patterns, for example, that you can just upload and then add your own text to their designs. And they were saying that their all over prints are selling really well right now. Something else they say is selling well, home decor. And at first I was like, home decor, you guys have to remember, yes, a lot of people are struggling financially, but there's also a lot of people who are not struggling. And people are still employed and they're working from home and they're very conscious of their background because their coworkers are seeing their house. So they're buying home decor to make their house look more cozy, look more decorated. So they're saying that they're seeing an uptick in fleece blankets, pillows, wall tapestries. And I've actually sold 2 wall tapestries on RedBubble in the last or since the pandemic. But I was also selling tapestries prior to the pandemic. So I personally didn't see an uptick for myself. But according to Teespring, there's an uptick. Some other things, loungewear, because everybody's wearing their pajamas. I was in my pajamas today until noon. People are wearing loungewear because they're working from home. And if you don't have to do a Zoom call for your work, you can lounge around in your pajamas all day. So I really do appreciate these sites giving you inspiration for what to upload. But it's just very, very important for you to understand, you guys, this is something you're doing. You're building for the long term, hopefully. Either you're taking advantage of what's selling right now, or you're doing this, or you're focusing on your shops that are already selling like mine, and you're thinking long term. So speaking of thinking long term, this is a concept that you can use for your own shop if you want to do this for the long term like me. So a lot of you now are looking for keywords that are hot right now. So they talked about class of 2020. Another keyword that I would bet is hot, particularly on Zazzle, because Zazzle, pay attention to this, you guys. Zazzle is great for women niches, especially weddings, invitations, greeting cards, especially evolving around weddings. So let's say you're interested in creating a Zazzle shop that targets people that just got engaged or people that are getting married in 2020 or whatever. So you put out some art related to getting married in 2020. And what's great about Zazzle is huge, you guys, on customized designs. So the customers can take your design and add their own text to it. And that's by default. When you upload an image to Zazzle, you don't really have to do anything special for that. As long as you leave room and you check the box that says allow the customer to customize the design or whatever, they can add text anywhere on the design. So let's say you set up a shop that has all these different wedding designs for people getting married. This is something that you can profit from in the short term because people are buying posters for their yard signs on their lawns because they're having their weddings and announcing them on their lawns, and they're still having their ceremonies in their house. They're showing pictures of the ceremonies on social media, so they're showing pictures of their posters. But this is something that will still be relevant when the pandemic is over. Same thing with the graduation stuff. You can do a graduation niche shop that's still going to be relevant when this is all over. Now, let's talk about stabilizing this income stream beyond just relying on Zazzle, because the downside of print on demand is that we don't own that traffic. So one thing that I have been doing, and this is a diagram that I set up in the Procreate app for the iPad, which I also use for print on demand. So if you're an artist, I have an Apple Pencil, and so I can literally draw on my iPad and send it to Photoshop or Illustrator and then upload the design to print on demand. I just made this diagram showing you how this all started for me. Step one, buy Zazzle shop. So imagine that could say RedBubble, that could say Spreadshirt. It doesn't matter where you started your shop. I just chose Zazzle because I'm using Zazzle in this example for this video. So if this person that wants to start their little wedding design shop, maybe they start out on Zazzle and they start getting sales consistently on Zazzle over time. Then they decide, oh, I think I want to set up a Pinterest account to also promote my designs. And that's exactly what I did with my main niche shop. And I documented this on this channel. So in 2018, I set up a Pinterest shop and I showed you guys how I was promoting the art on Pinterest, right? And so then I set up a website. That was the third step. Now, some people might say, well, why wouldn't you do the website first? You guys have to remember, I didn't start this to build a big brand. I just started making a little money here and there on RedBubble, and then it grew into something bigger than I had thought it would. And so then I started thinking, man, I don't want to be so reliant on this RedBubble traffic. I want to stabilize this income a little bit. So that's when I started doing Pinterest. And so now I have a website where I'm creating content on the website related to my niche. So you might go, well, what would you put on your website? Well, if you've got a shop for people that are engaged or getting married, you would have content about getting married that's related to your topic, your niche. That's why it's so important to have all of your content and your designs centered around one audience, because everything you do on Instagram, on Pinterest, on your website, all your followers will all be interested in the same things like I talked about on that last video. So your traffic is going to be a lot more targeted. They're going to be a lot more engaged. You can build an email list on your website, collect email addresses, and send out sale notifications when you have a sale. So basically you're creating sources of traffic that you have more control over. So don't get so caught up in the order that I did everything. The reason I didn't do the website first is A, I didn't realize I was setting this up for the long term in the beginning. And B, this is not 2010 anymore, you guys, where you set up a website and you put up 2 pages of content and you start getting traffic within a week or two. It takes a while to build traffic to a website. You have to have social signals showing Google that, hey, I got a following on Instagram, I got a following on Pinterest, and you link your website and Pinterest accounts together to show and prove to Google, hey, I'm an established brand here. So this is something that takes time, you guys, and this is what I have been doing. I started, I would say, last year with the website, and I've got 1 page right now that's ranked number 4 on Google in my niche for a how-to keyword. So you build how-to content for your main niche to get traffic from Google, and you've got your shop also promoting your designs as well as your website, as well as your Pinterest account. So you're setting up this traffic funnel to promote your designs in many different ways. And so that's sort of what I'm doing now to stabilize my income. And I also have clients now because they found me on my shop and they contacted me and said, hey, I need some custom designs in this niche. So I have a form on my website that says, hey, you want some custom work? Pay me, check out, and I'll do the design. So one shop spawned all this. One niche shop started all this for me. And this is how I've set it up. Not saying you have to do it in this order. I'm just giving you guys an example of what it can look like when you start from a niche shop on Spreadshirt, RedBubble, Zazzle, or whatever. Now, when it comes to deciding where to go, just remember this. RedBubble and Teepublic are very, very big for pop culture designs. What's going on in the world right now. Zazzle, very, very big for women-related niches such as weddings, such as babies. Very, very big with those audiences. Spreadshirt, kind of all over the place. I have sold birthday designs on Spreadshirt. I have sold baby shower designs. I've sold bridal designs, bride to be designs on Spreadshirt. I have sold so many different things on Spreadshirt. So it's harder for me to pinpoint exactly who they target. But definitely Zazzle, RedBubble, Teepublic, they have their defined audiences. They really do, more so than some of the others. Can't speak too much for Cafe Press and Teespring because I don't really upload there. I used to upload to Teespring, but I had some issues with their customer service. But I really hope that you guys are thinking about this long term. I just want to emphasize print on demand is not a replace my income right now if I lost my 9-to-5 job kind of thing. And honestly, most online businesses are not going to be that for you. You have to be thinking about what is in demand now. And if you need money now, look into businesses that have faster turnaround. Etsy masks. What are women buying because they can't go get their hair done? If you've always wanted to start a YouTube channel on beauty, now's the time because women are looking to YouTube to learn how to do makeup, to do their nails, to do their hair, particularly women in the natural hair space. Huge, you guys, huge. So when you're thinking about how can I make money, ask yourself, is what I'm going to be selling in demand now? And if so, how can I stabilize this so I can be earning for years and years and years to come? So I hope that helped you guys. Thanks for watching and I will talk to you soon.